Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to give you a tour of my Sword Singer's Redoubt. Being that we got this house for free as a daily reward, I definitely wanted to do it some justice, so the concept that I came up with was a zoo. Now there are already a few zoos in the game, but for this one I specifically wanted to utilize the space and structures that are already here, being that this house is absolutely massive. I also wanted to incorporate the lower level of the glittering caves and bring that to the upper level, so as soon as you walk in you have this moonlit path bridge to bring you to the center so you can look at everything that was done. A lot of enchanted lights everywhere. I also added a ton of giant trees to make the area feel a lot more lush. Then we have a dark anchor above us just because I thought it looked really cool. Now working our way down, this is our first enclosure. I did fill in this hole in the ground. I did keep dying to it, not gonna lie. But I did really like the concept of having this sunken feel right here with this enclosure, utilizing the Fire Song Spring to be able to add some water features. And the cool thing is you can still access the rope to get down to the lower section. Now if you take a step back, you'll see on this little platform I have the Augur of the Obscure, kind of like a little greeting if you're visiting the zoo.
You're not going to use me as a paperweight, are you? It's not that about anyway. Paperweights. Honestly, is paper that anxious to escape?
Now if you turn around, we have the monkey enclosure. Here I have my monkey from the beta, as well as the Sugar Snow Monkey, I believe is the name of it. And with that, I have the Fan of False face down here at the bottom, which turns you into a monkey. So if you want to turn into a monkey, chill with these guys, feel free. Then right here, I have the statue of Periite the Taskmaster. Daedric Prince, but looks the vibe, so wanted to throw it in here, so put it on a platform and put a light underneath it, give it this nice glow. Then walking over here, you'll see the Timid Vine Tongues. These are actually an achievement furnishing from Murkmire. Now, obviously, we can only have like 10 pets in here if you're going through special collectibles. So this is a really solid way to help add more enclosures without affecting that limit. Walking along, I got a few smaller displays right here. Then over here, we have my Demon Cockerel. I think it's just like a demon chicken. I got it from the Hollowjack crates. I was definitely going for the mounts. Its eyes glow red, which is pretty cool. Don't really know what this jellyfish thing is, but it looks cool. So added it here. Then we have this Alinor greenhouse with a few various plants and trees. Now this you can see from as soon as you walk in, which I really like because it has that little bit of lighting effect through the glass. So as you walk around, you'll see I have little plants and lighting effects to fill in various areas. We go up the stairs and to the side, you'll see I made this little water feature. There's definitely a lot of glowing trumpets. That's this mushroom right here. And then moving along over here, we have probably the largest enclosure. This is for my Sench Tiger. This is a mount, so I wanted to give it more space, and this is the one I've had forever. Now the fencing is the Argonian lattice. It's a very easy blueprint to find, so I just mass produced this and went on my way. The rocks that you're seeing here are the limestone shelves that you can find specifically from Somerset, and I wanted to build up, so I got the platforms that you can get from Necrom. Then up here on this platform we have my Amber Dust Wamasu? I'm not 100% sure on how to pronounce it, so one of you guys definitely let me know. Big lizard, basically. I love lizards, so yeah. There is grass underneath this platform, so I did lower the Fire Song Spring a little bit more, so to clip in, make it feel a little bit more lush. Then on the edges, we have the mossy rocks. Here on the edge, this is the Necrom Bridge, but if you turn it on its side, it looks like a fence, so that's what I used it as. Then over here, I did add some stairs to get up to this area. These two little towers, I don't really know what to utilize them for, but I had to at least make them accessible. So I have the stairs coming up, and I have two more of the Necrom bridges. I just connected them at the center. But we can go ahead and jump down here so I can show you guys how I kind of sectioned off the other entrance, put this cool mammoth skull on the top, and I did position everything very strategically so you could see the dark anchor portal like just centered as soon as you walk in. I'm probably going to use it for a different house, but at least for what it is now, I think it looks really cool. Now I'm going to go a little more quickly with this side just because it's a very similar blueprint to the other side, and I do want to get to the underground section where I put some time as well. So starting off right here, we have this little raven. This is part of the Witches Festival pack. That was one of those furnishings right there. Over here we have the Scuttlebloom enclosure, and then moving over to the end, this is just a little concept I had of the Swarm Mother trophy, just giant spider head, putting it in this little cave, kind of giving it a little dim light, putting spider webs and then the skeleton, make it look like there's some sort of spider enclosure, but it's just a trophy, so that was an idea that I had. Now we can go to the lower section. So Down here in this area, I didn't really do anything other than put these couple trees just because of the furnishing limit. But walking in, you'll see we have a bunch of wedding lanterns to be the main source of light, and a bunch of the ESO Plus paintings on the walls. Again, I'm a really big fan of utilizing items that won't take that traditional furnishing limit and just using as many as you can. Over here, I have the little display, and there's a Dune Ripper right there. That was actually the initial concept for, seeing the animals, and I was like, hey, what if we built a zoo? So felt like I could incorporate it a little bit, so it felt like there was other areas around the house that were still fitting to the concept. And then sometimes you'll see a jackal, and I completely forgot I put the Tremor scale trophy right there, but that was just a nice little Easter egg if you're actually looking in the house. Now, this room I wanted to have be basically like a research building. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of display cases, probably my most utilized furnishing, and this is no exception. Got this inactive fabrication sphere just kind of floating from the top. Really like the water effect that it has just on the inside. In this little display case right here, I put the butterflies that I got as a daily reward, and this plant, I forgot what it was, but it has this little purple effect. I thought it looked really cool and kind of fitting to draw your eye in just into the little details of the display cases. And as you look around, you'll see some paintings, alchemy sets, more plants and display cases because I just really love the look of them. And the basic concept is filling in more of the walls with paintings as more come out. And actually we have one that I have not put up. I have not put up the Lucent Citadel just yet, so we're going to do that real quick. Now walking around to the other room. This is the room that is very specifically just for the ice raid. So in my Panther Fang Chapel, this thing is just in a display case, but here it has its entire room. So we got some snow on the floor, we got some icy trees, and one really cool thing, this effect of snow, those are actually the blooming ginkgo trees, because they have these little white petals that they basically just flow down and they go further than the base of the tree. So if you clip them over the ceiling, it'll actually just come all the way through, and it gives it this nice snowing effect. Also have a little mist as well as a spotlight, just make it feel a lot more icy and more specific for this raid. Walking towards the actual cave section, we have the tusks of the Orc Father, just a nice little walkway piece, and I did put trees upside down so that specifically covers up that hole so you're not actually seeing like all the random furnishings for the Flameskin Salamander enclosure. And we're gonna jump down, just give it a similar feel to if you're coming down the rope. And obviously you can't furnish too much in this general area because you're kind of falling here, so you could die pretty easily. So with that in mind, I made like a little bit of a partial display for the Cold Harbor Sentinel. Just gave it this really nice little look to the landing area, and we don't discriminate on any of the creatures or beings that we have on display here, so happy with that. On our way up this little landing area, I put my Ancestor Lizard. Actually, I just remembered, I can put a few furnishings together, so we're gonna give this guy some lettuce, and this is just one of the little ones to kind of fill in some space. There's really not too much put into this. As you can see, it's very simple. Has the Argonian lattice and the reclaimed wood post to kind of border it. Now I do have more lizard pets in the game, which I would love to utilize, but just going for more variety here, just trying to keep everything a little bit more evenly spread out throughout the entire house rather than just having a ton in like one area. And this is how we are getting the lighting effect, because definitely want to make it a little bit more warm just right here specifically. Now walking up here, we have these shelves. These are the Apocrypha shelves, and these are really just to display the ESO Plus statuettes. And moving forward, we have a few of our last enclosures, and actually we're going to jump down because this is probably one of my favorite ones. So this is the bat enclosure. So the furnishing for them is the bat swarm, and it's basically just them constantly spiraling upward. Now when I think of a bat enclosure, I think of a smaller enclosure and a handful of bats hanging upside down from the top of it, but that's not what the furnishing is, so I decided to be a little bit more intentional with it. So being that they're spiraling upwards, I decided to make the structure like a half circle. And something I learned is that their enclosures are usually engulfed in like vines and plants, so definitely wanted to utilize that. I also recently got this emote that I think pairs really well with the enclosure, so very happy about that. Now with all this water, I wanted to add a boat, but I decided to incorporate it into a little bit more of the story, so I put a Volkish egg in the boat, and then I put these trophies just in the water next to them because it looks like they're attacking it. Not fitting to any of the lore whatsoever, but very fitting to the furnishing limit as well as adding some stuff to the water. Now this enclosure right here was more so just filling in space, so I just put a couple candle flies here and called it a day. But moving up here, we have the Vermilion Scuttler enclosure. Initially, I had this guy walking around, but he looked so sad doing it that I decided to just kind of let him just sit in one spot and just hang out on this tree. So these are all juniper trees and limestone shelves, basically creating a contrast from the glittering caves and make it more of an enclosure specifically for this little guy. And I think that's it for all the enclosures we have in here. There is some stuff that I'm planning on addressing, but at least for a baseline of the zoo, this is what we've got. After this video goes live, I am making this house accessible on home tours. You can just look me up at DitoC67 if you want to check it out in person. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one.